Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wish list video for February 2024's Hella Handmade Creations. I've already gone in and done a preliminary wish list just of my first impressions. I have 11 currently on my wish list. Again, I can't purchase them all, but these are my first impressions. Let's dive in and take a look at the items on my wish list this February. The first polish up is by 1422 Designs, with a little help from my friends. And this one, it says here that it's a capped pre-order. All of the items sold through Hella Handmade Creations are pre-order, but the fact that this one is capped means that there's a limited number available before it's sold out. In this case, there are only 100 bottles of this one available, so I'll have to keep an eye on that if this one makes the final cut. For this polish, it says that 1422 Designs continues their Beatles Take Two series with a little help from my friends. With a little help from my friends is a pale purple Crelly with an orange, gold, green Aurora shimmer and hollow flakes. And again, I did mention there were only 100 bottles of this available, so if I do decide to purchase, I'll have to consider purchasing pretty early when the shop opens, as close to February the 14th as I can. So this one's catching my eye for a few reasons. First of all, the inspiration. I love this song. With a little help from my friends is a family favorite of ours. And right there, this one is tugging at my heartstrings. I also think that this one is a really pretty and versatile polish that I could probably use 4 seasons a year. This pale purple Crelly looks very work appropriate and safe, but yet pretty and delicate. I've always loved pale purples, lilacs or lavenders, pale purples, that whole range. And I think that I could enjoy wearing this one as a variation on a neutral polish in that sense, for work, for other occasions. I can tell that it's one that I'd get a lot of use of. So this one is by 1422 Designs with a little help from my friends. This next polish up is by Atomic Polish, and this one is called Sagrada. There is no cap for this one, so that means that the maker can produce as many bottles of this product as is needed throughout the sale period. Atomic Polish is beginning a new series in HHC this month with board games. This month, the board game is Sagrada. This breathtakingly beautiful board game, Sagrada, has inspired a blurple-based polish with a purple to blue shift and red micro glitter. This one, first of all, it's a beautiful polish. The color of this one really caught my eye, and I'm very intrigued by the idea that there's some red micro glitter in this polish. I'm going to try to hover over here to see if you can see it in the detail at all. I just think that's a really interesting touch to this really vibrant color. I really don't own anything like this. The other thing is the idea of the theme of board games. I've just sort of recently, I guess it was with the pandemic really, gotten back into playing board games a little bit. And it's something from my youth that I always loved. I mean, we didn't have video games and things like that growing up, and board games were where it was at. And it was kind of wonderful during the pandemic, just when everything kind of slowed down and you were making these personal connections with the people closest to you in life. In my friend circle, in my life, there was a bit of a resurgence in board games. And actually, this board game, Sagrada, is not one that I own, but it's one that's caught my eye always. It's one that I'd love to add to my small but growing board game collection. I think it seems pretty great. Also, this maker, I own very few Atomic Polishes. The ones that I own are absolutely spectacular and like no others that I own. So I'm really impressed by this maker as well, and I'd like to explore their products further. So this one is by Atomic Polish, Sagrada. This next one up is by Cleona, and this one is called Soot and Sugar. And again, no cap for this one. This one is continuing with their Hayao Miyazaki tribute theme, and they have Soot and Sugar, which was inspired by the beloved Soot sprites seen in Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro. Soot and Sugar is a full coverage flaky with candy-colored pink, orange, green, and platinum shifting iridescent flakes scattered throughout a base of charcoal black metallic microshreds. For a little extra magic, we incorporated a dusting of silver reflective and scattered holographic microglitter. Now, this one is a bit of a stretch for me here. I don't tend to wear a whole lot of black polishes, but I just thought this one looked like just incredible sort of confetti fun. I actually saw a live swatch of this one by Caitlin Swatches here on YouTube, and it was just such a fascinatingly unique polish. Being a full coverage flaky is a very accurate way to describe this one. You would, I think, want to wear this one in complete full coverage without any nails showing. This one really is interesting. I have to think a little bit about how often I might use a polish like this one. It is truly unlike anything I own, this sort of flaky bomb. But not only that, there's the glitter component as well. There's the silver reflective glitter, which for me is a draw. I love the undeniable sparkle that reflective glitter can give. But there's also this scattered holographic micro glitter as well. There is a lot happening in this polish. And I think I'm going to have to think quite hard about this one. I love the novelty factor of this one. I think it really is unique and interesting. But I do have to think pretty critically about how often I think I might make use of this one. So yeah, a really great candidate. I'll have to think hard about this one. And this one is by Cleona Lacquer, Soot and Sugar. And here's another polish with a lot more flakes. This one is by Cuticula. It Means No Worries. And again, no cap for this one. Cuticula continues their Dreamlight Valley series with It Means No Worries, inspired by the Hakuna Matata quest. It Means No Worries is a rosy red jelly base packed with red-purple glass flakes and small matte black flakes. I think that the brilliance of these flakes is incredible in these swatch photos. Just that glow from the variety of flakes. I also know that I don't own anything quite like this in my collection. Also, I've only just recently got into red polishes. I just found that I always loved the way that red polishes looked on other people, but I was always so quick to chip my polishes. I tended to avoid wearing it. I don't know why red as opposed to any other color, but I always just loved that flawless, refined red polish look on others, and I always felt like I could never pull it off. In the last couple of years, since I've really got into indie polishes, I think just I've been exposed to just better formulas and also better top and base coats as well. So I've had a lot more luck with red polishes, and I'm really enjoying the way that they look. So this one, again, I know would be a very unique addition to my collection. I think that the brilliance of these flakes against this base is really something special. I think especially right now that we're in early February and it's kind of Valentine's Day, and I mean, it does have sort of a rose petal type look to it. I just think that it's kind of hitting all the right notes right now for me in terms of the type of things that I'm being drawn to. So this one is by Cuticula. It Means No Worries. And here's another polish that's leaning a little bit more on the red side. So this one is by Emily DeMolly, and this one is called Fire Quartz. And for this one, Emily DeMolly continues the series inspired by rocks and minerals with Fire Quartz, which is a brown jelly base filled with silver reflective glitters and red metallic glitters. Again, this one, like it's much deeper than the last one, but I've been drawn to reds a little bit more lately, and I know that's a little bit of a gap in my collection. The depth of this one, the fact that it's actually described as a brown jelly base with this addition of the red metallic glitters, but also the silver reflective glitters. This one is unlike anything I have. I'm really appreciating the depth in the pools of this jelly polish. I think that the glitter impact for this one looks quite unique, especially unique to my collection, but just unique and special in this brown jelly base. I think that's so interesting to me. Emily DeMolly is another brand that I would love to add more of to my collection. I don't own very many at this point, but the ones that I own, the quality is just off the charts excellent. So this one is pretty high up on my wish list this month. This one is by Emily DeMolly, Fire Quartz. This next one up is by Garden Path Lacquer's Reply Hazy. For this polish, Garden Path Lacquers continues the series inspired by retro toys with Reply Hazy, which is a black, white, and iridescent glitter bomb with silver holographic flakes. And this one is inspired by the great classic Magic 8 Ball. I loved this one as a kid. So all the nostalgia factors are here for me. I love the inspiration. And I love this brand, Garden Path Lacquers. It seems like over the last 6 months or so, I have bought several polishes from Garden Path Lacquers, and I am absolutely loving all of them. Now, this one is very unique to my collection. I don't own anything at all like this one, but I have to think pretty critically. I mean, I think I'm getting a little bit carried away maybe with loving the inspiration of Magic 8 Ball. I think that the interpretation of that is excellent here in this polish. Also, my love for this brand right now, it just seems like every time I see something by Garden Path Lacquers, it's almost like an instant add to cart for me. So I do have to take a look at this one. This one is quite a glitter bomb. And I have noticed that just with the pace of life lately, with work commitments and that kind of thing, I haven't been wearing time-consuming polishes as much as my easier polishes. And for me, glitter bombs and things like that are a little bit more time-consuming. Just in the way that they apply, I tend to use a glitter smoothing top coat. That takes a little bit longer to dry, I find, but also the removal of them in case of chipping or when I'm just finished with that manicure. So this is one that I'm going to have to take a close look at just to think, am I just getting carried away with the brand and the inspiration, or am I really going to enjoy wearing this polish as much as I hope? This one I'll have to think about quite a bit. So this one is by Garden Path Lacquer's Reply Hazy. This next one up is by Nailed It, and it's called Grass Knot. And this one is capped. There's only 300 of these available. For this one, Nailed It continues their Pokemon theme with Grass Knot, inspired by Sprigatito. Grass Knot is a pale minty green base with a strong pink to gold shifting shimmer. This series from Nailed It, their Pokemon series, I think that the series has been going on the entire time that I've been shopping Hella Handmade Creations. It's incredible. I think it's been going on for a couple of years at least. I'd actually love to know if anybody's been shopping Hella Handmade Creations for longer than I have, which for me was in 2022, probably midway through 2022. Just let me know how long this series has been going on. This is blowing my mind. This has been a very popular series, and I find that the polishes that are being offered are always just so pretty and unique. For me, I take a look at this one and I see the most perfect winter to spring transitional polish. It's got a little bit of iciness to it still, but with this minty green base, it has just all the hints of spring, also with that warmer shimmer to it. I am craving colors like this right now. And I can't wait for, really, when this shipment arrives at my door, I could see myself opening the package and wearing it pretty much immediately, considering that this shipment will probably arrive kind of in mid-March in my part of the world, which is Canada. So this one is by Nailed It, Grass Knot. And speaking of springtime, that's why this one is on my wish list as well. This one is by Night Owl Lacquer, and it's called A Little Grumpy and Super Lumpy. For this polish, Night Owl Lacquer continues the series inspired by Bob's Burgers with A Little Grumpy and Super Lumpy, which is a milky pale lavender with multi-chrome flakes that shift magenta, mauve, silver, green, and emerald. No cap for this one. This one, again, is striking all the right spring vibes. This is not the first sort of lavender, light pale purple polish that I've added to my wish list this month. In fact, that's a color that I'm very drawn to right now. But this one's different in that it's got these flakies, these multi-chrome flakes. These ones just remind me of the earliest spring flowers, things like crocuses moving into hyacinths and lilacs in my area as well. This is a type of colorway that I'm really craving right now. And this one just really is stunningly beautiful. So this one is by Night Owl Lacquer, A Little Grumpy and Super Lumpy. This item is trouble for me because this one item is in fact a duo. So that's why you see the higher price point on this one. It's actually 2 polishes packaged together that you can also buy individually if you so choose. So this one is by Phoenix Indie Polish. It's a duo, and the 2 parts of this one are 2 hearts and birds fly. And this one is capped. So for the duo, there are 150 of these available. You can also, as I said, alternatively buy it separately, and there are different caps for just the single items on their own. So for this one, Phoenix Indie Polish begins a new series inspired by the music from Imagine Dragons with 2 hearts and birds fly. 2 Hearts has a clear base with golden aurora shimmer and holographic microflakies. Birds Fly has a green crelly base with purple aurora shimmer. I just can't get over how both of these look together. I love both of these on their own, but together I just think this produces pure magic. I actually purchased many of these duos through Phoenix Indie Polishes over the last few months because they had a different series going on. It was their Coldplay series, and I just found the same thing. These curated duos where one is intended to be worn on top of the other, they're just matches made in heaven. I can't say enough about the way that these are produced, especially by this maker, Phoenix Indie Polish. So this one is a really special one. I'm also really intrigued by this base, the green Crelly base with the purple Aurora shimmer. It's just a really unique type of combo. Again, highly springy. I'm very attracted to these purples right now, these pale purples. And this one is just hitting all the right notes for me again. So this one is by Phoenix Indie Polish, and this one is their duo. And the duo is, the two parts of it are Two Hearts and Birds Fly. This next one up is actually the reason why I'm putting out my wish list video when I am, because I was waiting for swatch photos to come through for this one. This one is by Red Eyed Lacquer. This one is a thermal, and this one is called Iris You the Best. And this one is capped. There's only 200 of these available. For this one, Red Eyed Lacquer is continuing their series inspired by birth month flowers with Iris You the Best. Iris You the Best is a purple to blue thermal with yellow-green shifting shimmer, yellow-green shifting flakes, and hollow flakes. So for me, yes, yet another purple. I'm getting very predictable. It's amazing sometimes what I'm drawn to seasonally. I don't necessarily consider myself just exclusively a seasonal polish wearer, but I undoubtedly right now am just craving some of those pale spring greens and also these purples. These long Canadian winters have me craving spring colors like you wouldn't believe. This one also is a series that I've been following since it started, and I've managed to secure every single one of the polishes in this series, except for one, which sold out before I could get it. I'm still devastated that I missed out on that one. That was their Aster polish from back in the fall. So for this one, I was actually waiting for these swatch photos to come out, and this one is an impressive thermal. I enjoy wearing thermals at this time of year. I find that the cold outdoor temperatures that I experience in my area compared with the warmth inside, also with mittened hands, it's a great time of year for me to play around with thermals. So I think that I will get a lot of use out of this thermal right when this one arrives. So I do intend to get this one to round out my collection, to continue on my streak. So this one is by Red Eyed Lacquer, and this one's the thermal called Iris You the Best. I also have to say, I think that this is an excellent interpretation of an iris. I can just picture irises in spring gardens looking exactly like this very colorway here. This final one on my wish list, on my very long wish list, is by Watcha, and this one is Pisces. This one is also capped with only 250 of these available. Watcha continues with their zodiac theme with Pisces. Pisces is a holographic turquoise base with reflective glitter and iridescent flakes. Now, this one's another sentimental pick for me. Pisces is important in my family. It's my mom's sign. So I saw this and I thought, you know what, if this offering looks like anything that I would enjoy wearing, I will probably get it. And sure enough, I love the look of this one. It looks so just aqueous, so watery, so mermaidy. And the fact that this one goes along with that this polish matches up so wonderfully with this Pisces, with the zodiac theme here with Pisces. Like, I just think that it's a really well executed polish, and it has such wonderful meaning for me. And I can think of my mom when I wear it. This one's definitely a sentimental pick, but it's a beautiful pick as well. So this final choice is by Watcha, and this one is Pisces. So that's it for my wish list this month. I have some thinking to do because I think that I'm getting a little bit swept away with some of the brands and also some of the inspirations instead of the whole package in terms of how I'm going to really enjoy wearing each individual polish. But I know that I have a few standout polishes this month. One of them is the Watcha Indie Polish Pisces for sentimental reasons. Another one is I'm really enjoying the look of the Emily DeMolly offering this month. And I'm just craving those spring vibes of the Nailed It, also of the Night Owl lacquer. So I have quite a bit of thinking to do, but some really great options. And a lot of them are really sort of tugging at my heartstrings this month as well, with really great inspirations. So the Hella Handmade Creations shop opens this month on February the 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time, and it runs until February the 21st at 11:59 Hawaii time. Now that opening time is very important for capped items. So for some of these items with reduced stock, Shopping as early as you can when the shop opens will ensure that hopefully you'll have the best chance at acquiring those items that you want. Also, a reason to shop early is in case you want to get any offerings from the overstock section. Now, I'm not shopping the overstock section this month. However, in the overstock section, these are items from previous months that are sometimes available in only the smallest of quantities. Sometimes it's like 5 items or less available. So if you don't shop right at like 12:01 a.m., you are probably going to be out of luck. So that's something to keep in mind when you're shopping this month as well. Actually, there's some really great options in here. Maybe I should have given it a look. But with a wish list as large as mine is at 11 items, it's probably a good idea that I steer clear. Something else that I should mention is that some of these items here in the overstock section are available now. This means that they first came available in the overstock section in a previous month's shop opening, and they remain available in the shop until they're gone. So these ones here that are listed as currently unavailable, they will be made available when the shop opens on February the 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time. These other items have been around a little while in the overstock shop. And actually, this one's kind of a cool one, mint chocolate. Maybe I need to give that one a closer look. Anyway, these ones are available now. So you can actually purchase these ones and add them to your cart and not have to worry so much about that 12:01 a.m. shop opening if you want to acquire these items. So that's it for my wish list this month. You can see a little bit of a theme here that I've got going, a lot of really springy colors in my wish list here. I'm wondering, are you shopping Hella Handmade Creations this month? If you are, what's catching your eye? Let me know in the comments. We can continue on the conversation. If you like this type of wish listing video, please consider giving this video a like. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job and that you'd like to see more content similar to this in the future. Also, if you enjoy nail polish related content, please consider subscribing. I do try to put out nail related content as much as I can. Consider subscribing, and that way you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thanks so much for joining me for this wish list video. Happy shopping. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.